Give me the keys.
Keys to what?
Your car.
Kylie, you're a 14-year-old.
That's right.
Welcome to the Impact Defense Podcast. We are dedicated to giving you the information that you need to help keep you safe. Now let's join our hosts, Brian, Jada, and Kylie.
Kylie, this is the ad portion of the podcast. You only have 10 words to advertise for FastCon. Go.
Okay.
There's two.
FastCon. Family Abduction Self-Defense Training Conference. Ha!
That's 11.
And how was that an advertisement? You just said it. Just say FastCon. And then, like...
Would you like another shot at that?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's try it
Okay, here we
again.
go.
FastCon. October 15th and 16th. Sign up today at impactdefense.online.
Brian's having
Sla-
trouble counting on his fingers.
/fast.
Oh, he went over 10 words, but I guess we'll count it. All right. All right, so today we are going to be talking about carjackings. Now, I would like to say as we kind of move into this a little bit, well, we haven't hit the story for the day yet, but I would just like to point out, though, that our last one, talking about self-defense over summertime and summertime activities, and then this one, carjackings, both of these were suggested to us. So if you have a subject that you would like to suggest, even if we've talked about it in the past, we don't mind talking about it again. We might can kind of come at it from a different light. We've been doing the podcast for a little while. We're constantly training. So these things constantly change. We are constantly evolving what we do. So we are constantly, I say constantly a whole lot, but we are, I'm just going to go with it. We are constantly trying to do better and better and better and make sure that we are giving out the best possible ways to deal with certain things. So if there's a certain subject, email us. Whatever.
Contact us.
Yeah, contact us. You can contact us on Facebook. You can contact us on TikTok. You can
YouTube.
contact us on YouTube.
TikTok.
I already said that one.
Oh.
You can email us. You can contact us through the site. There's like 50,000 ways to get a hold of us. Okay? So, I think we're on to the news story.
News story.
You're laughing already for the story. I don't know how this is going to go.
And now for the news report section of our podcast, hosted by me, Jada. We bring you a story from Clearwater, Florida.
I know people in Clearwater, Florida.
Really?
I do.
Okay. Well,
But I'm always afraid when I hear a story coming out of Florida.
a 61-year-old man and his girlfriend were leaving a bar and ordered an Uber. They get into the backseat of the Uber, and then the 61-year-old puts a knife to the Uber driver's throat and told him to pull over, to which the driver complied, according to an arrest report. Once the car was pulled over, both the Uber driver and the man got out of the car. That's when the deputies say that Naylor lunged at the driver, attempting to stab him. The driver was able to take the knife during the altercation, but the man had a second knife on him. According to the arrest report, after some time outside the car, the man jumped into the driver's seat, but one thing caught him up, being unable to put the car in drive. According to him, causing him to instead have to run off. And that is how being unable to drive stopped a carjacking in Florida.
So basically, he gets in the car, and he jumps in there, and he carjacks this guy, and then gets in the front seat and goes, oh, crap, I forgot. I don't know how to drive these things. So,
Well, it says they were leaving a bar, so he may have been so inebriated that he got into the car, and he's like, oh, crap. I forgot. What does the D stand for again?
where's the G for go? All right. Anyway. Okay. So that makes more sense, but I kind of enjoyed the idea that he realized he can't
What
actually.
kind of car was it? So maybe it was like a button start car, and he's just like, "Where's the keyhole?"
Oh, okay. First off, if somebody is going to carjack you, let's hope and
He
pray.
claims not to remember the encounter.
Let's hope and pray somebody like that. So, but he did try to stab the guy, and the guy did have at least enough skills and ability to kind of keep himself from being stabbed. So if you're in that situation, obviously I would say leave the car unless there's somebody in there else. You know, if some dude, which I don't drive an Uber, but let's say I'm in Walmart parking lot, because as we all know, all horrible things happen at Walmart. So I'm in Walmart parking lot and I'm throwing like groceries or whatever the crap we just bought in there. And somebody comes up to me with a knife and demands my keys. All right, here's the deal. I have like black belts in 5 different styles of martial arts, and then I went undefeated in full contact fighting. I'm no slouch, even now that I'm 40. I'm no slouch when it comes to fighting. I feel like I could still handle myself, and I'm in here training and doing this crap all the time. But I am not going to fight with somebody that has a knife over a vehicle. It's just not worth it. It's a material possession. Now you put Kylie or my wife or just somebody else in that vehicle and he's demanding my keys, or we gonna fight. You know? But at least I'm just gonna like back off, give him the keys and let it go.
Mm-hmm. But in a situation like that, the rare situation where you hand over the vehicle and they
That's true,
still
too.
try to stab you, like that
Run.
guy.
Right. I mean,
Now that probably had more to do with being inebriated, because it kind of lowers your judgment. Because if he really wanted the car, and the guy gave him the car, what benefit did he really have of stabbing him? When you're inebriated, you do things that, like, I don't know why I keep saying inebriated. There are other words.
Drunk.
But, yeah. It affects your judgment in a way that normal people wouldn't.
yeah. Somebody like an Uber driver, somebody like a cab driver, somebody like a delivery driver, something like delivering pizzas. People that are in those lines of work have a higher risk of something like carjacking than does the average person. Mm-hmm. I think for the average person, and I know, listen, my air conditioner's gone out and I rode everywhere with the windows down. I'd actually know somebody that was driving through, of course, Walmart parking lot, and somebody walked up to the window and stuck a knife to his neck. Okay? He was doing it with the windows down. Now, it was completely and totally senseless, and he was actually ended up able to get away, but he told me it was the scariest thing he'd ever faced in his entire life. And I can imagine. I mean, that would be incredibly terrifying, because you can't just drive off when there's a knife pressed against your neck, because knives cut when they move, and when you drive forward, that knife is naturally going to move across your neck. So that was just not a possibility. And he said it was completely senseless, and he has no idea why the guy did it, and I don't know anything else past that necessarily. But one thing I would say, if to keep somebody from just coming up out of the blue, keep your windows rolled up. Keep your doors locked. These things will help. Another guy I know that was in McDonald's parking lot eating his food after he went through the drive-thru, somebody comes up and tries to get in with him. He had his doors locked, thank God. And he tries to get in. Then he starts screaming at the guy. The guy I knew, he starts screaming at him. He says, "Hey, let me in," all this stuff. So the guy I knew happened to be a concealed carry permit holder, reaches in between the seat and the console where he kept his gun, pulls it out and said, "I don't care about my glass," and the guy ran away. That was just a show of force, stopped the threat. Just any kind of show of force there. But I would say just keep the doors locked, keep the windows up most of the time. That's
I feel like he could turn into a cranky old man in a movie. I don't care about my glass.
Yeah. Get off my lawn. Yeah. No,
just like it's like a post-apocalyptic situation, and like he's the only one left with a car, and he just kind of like drives around doing his own thing, like going to all these places that used to be restaurants just to like get a feel of the old life. Gets in his car, someone tries to carjack. I don't care about my glass. Drives home to his old beaten down house.
Yeah, I could see
Like-
that guy. So,
Someone turned this guy into a movie plot.
so, windows up, doors locked. When you're driving and you're in a line, okay, or you're at a light, how close should we get to the back of the next vehicle? Kylie, do you know?
I'm 14.
You should be able to see the bottoms of their tires.
Yes. We want to be able to see the bottoms of their tires, because if I can see the bottom of their tires, then that means I can make a cut to the left or to the right or wherever's clear to actually get, turn. If let's say I'm sitting here and all of a sudden I'm behind another vehicle and somebody jumps out of the vehicle behind me and I see them have a gun, I'm getting my butt out of there. So, yeah, you want to kind of be at a place where I can see the bottom of their tires, because that means I can cut and get out. So that is definitely something. So when you're, it's kind of defensive driving in that respect. And I don't think that kind of stuff happens as much where we live, but I have heard of in other places where somebody will be in front, somebody will be behind, and what they'll try to do is this person comes up to a stoplight and stops, and then they wait for you to stop, and their partner is behind them, and they stop behind you, and now you're trapped, and they get out and get your car, or pull you out and beat you, or all kinds of different things have happened like that. But that's how people set people up.
Oh, this is off topic, but you saw the guy who used the gasoline nozzle to spray off those guys?
Yeah.
I know it would work.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't see
people
this,
don't think of that.
yeah, I know.
I just looked at him and was like, kindred spirit.
So if you guys did not see that, somebody was at a gas pump, and this van rolls up, and like 3 people jump out of the van, and the guy pulls the gas nozzle out of his vehicle and starts dousing everyone in gasoline.
And their van.
And their van. And he's shooting it over, trying to get it in the van.
Those
and everything
things
else.
shoot far.
I know. You just spit in my face.
Sorry.
This is not the first time.
Leave that out.
So, yeah, they do. I didn't quite realize how far they would shoot. But anyway, that was...
I mean, they have to fill up vehicles really quickly, like gallons upon gallons.
There is your... Like, I'm sitting at a gas station. What do I do? Freaking lock your doors, for one thing. I've heard too many stories that shocks me. When I get out of the vehicle at a gas station, my doors are locked except for maybe my driver's side door that I just got out of. And that's only if I'm paying right there at the pump. If I decide to go in, that driver's side door is also going to be locked. But if I'm staying at the pump, all of my doors are locked except for the driver's side door. I get out, I pump my gas, I'm being aware and I'm paying attention, because carjackings happen around gas pumps as well. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all this, I'm paying attention to everything that's going on. I've heard too many stories about somebody being in or putting gas in their vehicle and somebody either jumping into the vehicle from the other side or opening the door and stealing something off the passenger seat. And that would be easily avoided if you just kept your doors locked, minus the driver's side door.
And about the whole spraying them with gasoline thing, the smell of gasoline is very easily recognizable in a lineup.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. It's like, oh, let's just, which one smells like gas?
It's like, do you recognize any of these guys? I don't know. Let me smell them. Not only that, but if, let's say you go inside a or you know what? Anytime you're at a gas station and you have just finished filling up your car, as soon as you get into your car, I know that I only really take my card and my keys out of my car whenever I'm pumping gas. That's pretty much all. The rest of it's locked in my vehicle. Because I personally feel like that's a more safe place for it to be, just because I'm a small female. I feel like the locked car doors are a little bit, I don't know. Anyway, that's just me. Other people might have other opinions. But whenever I get back in my vehicle, I like to put my card back in my bag, and obviously I have to take the time to put the keys in the ignition. Before I do any of that, as soon as I get into my car, the door is shut and locked. It doesn't matter if it's hot outside. I don't care. I'm shutting and locking the door. Then I turn on my car. And then I put my card back in my wallet, and then I leave.
Yeah.
That is the order of operations I do things, because to me, I feel like that's the safest route to take. Locking the doors as soon as you get in your car.
So, some general safety concerns in most of these situations. Keep your windows up, your doors locked, okay? Keep distance between you and other vehicles that are in front of you when you're at stoplights or in lines or whatever. Some people would say drive something like an SUV or something so you can go over a curb if you need to. I mean, you know, I understand that. When going through I actually went through like a bodyguard kind of course where you are protecting someone else. And that was one of the things that they said was like, hey, drive something, pay attention to what somebody like the Secret Service drives or something like that. You know, they have a lot of like SUVs and stuff like that, because if they have to get out of a situation, boom, they go right over the curb and keep going. I understand that. I got that. Is that necessary for just the average person?
I can't afford SUV gas mileage, so I drive a Honda.
Listen, I'm just telling you, Hondas make SUVs. I am telling you that
Honda Civic.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you.
And if I need to, I'll just shred the bottom bumper off.
But in all seriousness, that's something you have to think about. But I think it's worth throwing out there for people to think about anyway. So windows up, doors locked. Make sure you keep yourself some distance. You do fidget a lot. We are going to start really seriously duct taping you to the chair. All right. So, windows up, doors locked, make sure you have some distance there between you and the person in front of you at stoplights and lines, anything like that. General awareness, like with everything else we do. And just, generally be prepared if you see something out of the ordinary. At gas pumps, keep your doors locked, except for maybe your driver's side door.
Or if your pump is on the other side.
Yeah, or whatever.
Maybe lock your driver's side door.
Yeah. So, whatever there. But just make sure that we have some just general ideas and things for awareness. There are certain things that you can do, and I would encourage you to get some training on that if this is something that you're worried about. If you do have your windows down. If somebody walks up to your window with a gun, what can you do? There are good techniques for it. You just have to actually know what to do, and you can't really explain that over a podcast. So look into getting some training on that. Most of the basic rules will get you through and make you not an easy target for any kind of carjackers as well. All right, so for our comment spotlight of the week, we have a 5-star rating. It says, great content. So grateful for stumbling on this podcast. It actually has made a difference in my day-to-day life. Pragmatic and easy to listen to. I am so glad that somebody finds us easy to listen to. I shocked.
Don't find us easy to listen to.
I am shocked that someone finds us easy to listen to, because we are all a bunch of ADD people making a podcast.
That's supposed to be organized and helpful.
We're trying to do better on that one. So if you guys would like to hear your comment read,
Go ahead and put a comment.
yes,
And a
5-star review or 5-star rating and a review help us out tremendously. This is from Sumba June. I forgot to mention the name earlier. So I would really, really appreciate that. We'd like to see more comments that we can read. I stumbled on a podcast. I listen to podcasts all the time. And I was listening to this podcast, and I listened to one for the first time. It's called The Law of Self-Defense. It's actually a really decent podcast. I'd just like to throw that one out there. But you listen to a lot of average people making podcasts, and then as that podcast came on, I was like, oh, this dude has a real serious voice for radio. I mean, he just really made me feel like a loser, seriously. I have never been told I had a voice for radio. I've been told I had a face for radio, but never been told I had a voice for radio before. But this guy seriously has a voice for radio. It was really, really good. But anyway, okay. So our final thing we're going to leave you guys with
is FastCon. So FastCon is our family abduction and self-defense training conference, introduced for the first time in 2021 on October 15th and 16th. This is going to be held at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So that's right, you can train with us and have a beach getaway weekend. So if you're looking for a first step to self-defense and making your family just a little bit safer, or a lot of it safer, look into FastCon. We have our early bird pricing until August 31st. So really look into that. It's $67 for an individual on our early bird pricing, and $247 for a family of 4 or more. So our whole goal is to make this accessible to families with large numbers of people who wouldn't normally be able to afford something like this. Just we want to make it as available as possible to as many people as possible. So we're making it $247 flat price for early bird special for families of 4 or more. So 4 to 27, like big families that wouldn't normally be able to afford something like this. So really look into this and let your family become just a bit safer.
Yep. So it's a family of 4, it's $247. If it's a family of 14, also $247. So
Family of 19.
you just say that because you
But
like that
like
shit.
I said, early bird pricing ends on August 31st. So get your tickets now. And if you don't know enough about FastCon, go ahead and go onto our website at impactdefense.online/fast and look at more information.
All right, guys, thank you so very much, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Impact Defense Podcast. If you would like to learn more about how to keep yourself safe, check out the articles, videos, courses, and seminars at www.impactdefense.online. We also do training for security teams, churches, businesses, groups, and more. Stay sharp, stay focused, and train hard.